Good evening, everyone. My name is Dempsey Hamilton, and on behalf of the Kennedy Center and Performing Arts for Everyone, I would like to welcome you to the Millennium stage. Tonight's performance is presented in cooperation with ASCAP, and I have here with me Michael Kirker, who is the director of musical theater for ASCAP. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Michael so that he can tell you more about tonight's performance and ASCAP. So here's Michael Kirker.
Thanks, Dempsey. First, I'd like to thank the Kennedy Center and especially Tim Prestridge for inviting us here and allowing us to kick off our ASCAP Centennial. ASCAP, which is the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, we're a membership organization, and our members represent the finest of American composers and lyricists. And while our members represent all genres of music, pop, rock, rap, hip-hop, country, classical, Latin, we're here at the Kennedy Center to celebrate 100 years of great music, great songwriters from the American musical theater. Tonight we'll be covering what many people consider the golden age of the American musical, 1939 to 1963. And we have two sterling artists to bring that era to life for you. Our musical director is one of Broadway's true giants, having conducted many of the greatest musicals on Broadway, Oliver, Mame, La Cage aux Folles, and A Chorus Line. Our star singer, in addition to his role on the long-running television series The Guiding Light, he absolutely defines the definition of a great leading man. He has starred in such musicals as Chicago, Showboat, A Little Night Music, and most recently in the Kennedy Center production of Stephen Sondheim's Follies, for which he received a well-deserved Tony nomination. And next month, he assumes the role of Daddy Warbucks in the new Broadway revival of Annie. Please welcome Don Pippin and Ron Raines.
They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. You're on this date with me, the pickings have been lush, and yet before the evening is over, you might give me the brush. You might forget your manners, you might refuse to stay, and so the best that I can do is pray. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, if you've ever been a lady to begin with. Luck, be a lady tonight. Luck, let a gentleman see how nice a dame you can be. I know the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck, be a lady to me. A lady doesn't leave her escort. It isn't fair, it isn't nice. A lady doesn't wander all over the room and blow on some other guy's dice. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady tonight. Luck, let a gentleman see how nice a dame you can be. I know the way you've treated other guys you've been with. Luck be a lady with me. A lady doesn't flirt with strangers. She'd have a heart, she'd have a soul. A lady doesn't make little snake eyes at me when I bet my life on this roll. So let's keep the party polite. Never get out of my sight. Stick with me, baby, I'm the fella you came in with. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady. Luck be a lady tonight. Ha! Yeah.
That, of course, was from Guys and Dolls, music and lyrics by Frank Lesser. Frank actually started his career out in Hollywood, writing mainly lyrics. He had a couple of hit songs in Hollywood, including Too Late Now, They're Either Too Young or Too Old. But it wasn't until he worked on Broadway and wrote his own lyrics and music that he achieved legendary status. In addition to Guys and Dolls, his masterworks include The Most Happy Fellow and the Pulitzer Prize-winning How to Succeed in Business. One of ASCAP's founding members was Irving Berlin. His catalog of hit songs, for which he wrote both words in music always, began in 1911 with Alexander's Ragtime Band. But in 1946, the legendary Irving Berlin achieved his biggest success ever on Broadway with his score for Annie Get Your Gun, starring the equally legendary Ethel Merman. Virtually every song from that show became an instant hit. The musical is the story of the sharpshooter Annie Get Your Gun and the other sharpshooter, Frank Butler.
And here are a couple of songs from that great score. I've had my way with so many girls, and it was lots of fun. My system was to know many girls. 'Twould keep me safe from one. I find it can't be done. My defenses are down. She's broken my resistance, and I don't know where I am. I went into the fight like a lion, but I came out like a lamb. My defenses are down. She's got me where she wants me, and I can't escape no how. I could speak to my heart when it weakens, but my heart won't listen now. Like a toothless, clawless tiger, like an organ grinder's bear, like a knight without his armor, like Samson without his hair. My defenses are down. I might as well surrender, for the battle can be won. But I must confess that I like it, so there's nothing to be done. Yes, I must confess that I like it. Being miserable is gonna be fun. You'll find that falling in love is wonderful. It's wonderful, as they say. And with the moon up above, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, as they tell you. You leave your house some morning, and without any warning, you're stopping people shouting that love is grand. And to hold a girl in your arms is wonderful, wonderful in every way, as they say.
In the late 1930s, three very good friends got together and started performing in very small nightclubs. They called themselves the Reviewers. In addition to performing, two of the three wrote all the sketches and the songs. The third member of that group, a pretty young blonde singer-actress, seemed to have that special star quality. In 1944, those two songwriters and sketch writers made their Broadway debut as lyricists, joining the young composer Leonard Bernstein. The musical was a huge success. It was on the town, and the lyricists were Betty Comden and Adolph Green. Betty and Adolph would go on to write many great Broadway musicals, including Wonderful Town, On the 20th Century, and Peter Pan. Remember that pretty young blonde I mentioned earlier? She went on to be a major film star, winning an Academy Award as Best Actress in the film Born Yesterday. In 1958, Betty and Adolph, together with composer Julie Stein, wrote a musical for that young blonde. It was a smashing success.
The musical was Bells Are Ringing, and that pretty blonde who became a film star was none other than the great Judy Holliday. Here are a couple songs from that great score. Dearest, dearest, one thing I know, everything I feel for you started many ages ago. Long before I knew you, long before I held you, I was sure I'd meet you someday, somehow. I pictured someone who'd walk and talk and smile as you do, who'd make me feel as you do right now. All that was long before I held you, long before I kissed you, long before I touched you and felt this glow. And now you really are here, and now at last I know that long before I knew you, I loved you so. Just in time, I found you just in time. Before you came, my time was running low. I was lost, the losing dice were tossed, my bridges all were crossed, nowhere to go. But now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going, no more doubts or fear. I found my way, for love came just in time. You found me just in time and changed my lonely life that lovely day. Oh, now you're here, and now I know just where I'm going, no more doubt or fear. I found my way, for love came just in time. You found me just in time and changed my lonely life
I suspect if you ask the average person to name a team of musical theater writers, more often than not, the reply would be Rodgers and Hammerstein. And why be surprised? After all, their musicals continue to be produced all over the country, all over the world, high schools, colleges, and I would dare say that virtually a day does not go by when there isn't a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical being produced somewhere, and their great songs being heard, whether it be from Carousel, South Pacific, Oklahoma, or The Sound of Music. Well, Ron chose a song from South Pacific.
This song was introduced by the great Metropolitan Opera bass Ezio Pinza in 1949. South Pacific, also starring Mary Martin. One dream in my heart, one love to be living for, one love to be living for. This nearly was mine. One girl for my dream, one partner in paradise. This promise of paradise, this nearly was mine. Close to my heart he came, only to fly away, only to fly as day flies from moonlight. Now I'm alone, still dreaming of paradise, still saying that paradise once nearly was mine. So clear and deep are my fancies of things I wish were true. I'll keep remembering evenings I wish I'd spent with you. I'll keep remembering kisses from lips I'll never own, and all the lovely adventures that we have never known. Now I'm alone, still dreaming of paradise, still saying that paradise once nearly was mine.
Composer Leonard Bernstein wrote 5 Broadway musicals, but no doubt West Side Story was his major triumph. His first musical was also a big hit, On the Town, written, as I said earlier, with Betty Comden and Adolph Green. On the Town told the story of 3 sailors who have a 24-hour leave in New York before they have to ship out to places unknown. Probably the best-known song from On the Town is New York, New York, It's a Hell of a Town. But in my humble opinion, the song Lonely Town contains one of Bernstein's loveliest and most heartfelt melodies.
This ballad, not only is it a wonderful song, but it's a song that he wrote a melody so poignant that actually it's beautiful all by itself without any words. Interesting thing about this song, in 32 bars, once I play the chorus, he goes through 5 different keys and yet ends up in the key that we started in. So Lonely Town.
Beautiful, Don. Beautiful. The next composer we're going to celebrate is Jerry Herman. Now, without Frank Lesser, Jerry Herman may not have had the huge success that he did have, because Jerry, when he was around 11 or 12 years old, went to Frank Lesser's, the great Frank Lesser's office, and played him 3 or 4 of his songs. And Frank Lesser spent all that afternoon working with him and encouraging him and getting to know him. And as a matter of fact, he called his mother and parents after that and said, your son has got it. And you really should support this incredible talent. And thank God they did. Now, Jerry, I've had the fortune of performing with Jerry in many of the shows that he's done, where he narrates and talks about his shows and his history, along with Don at the piano. And it's been a real treat to do that with him. Before I sing a song from Jerry's first show, I wanted to say that Don Pippin, our music director tonight, has conducted more shows of Jerry on Broadway and been the music director than any other music director. And we're thrilled to have him on stage with you tonight. And this show that we're going to sing a song from was written in 1960. Jerry was 29 years old. It was his first show, and David Merrick produced it. It's about the state of Israel, and it was the score is very ethnic. And the second show that Jerry did, by the way, was Hello Dolly, which sounds nothing the same, which really attributes his genius. This is Shalom from Milk and Honey. Shalom, shalom, you'll find shalom, the nicest greeting you know. It means bonjour, salut, and skol, and twice as much as hello. It means a million lovely things, like peace be yours, welcome home. And even when you say goodbye, you say goodbye with shalom. It's a very useful word. It can get you through the day. All you really need to know, you can hardly go wrong. You're bilingual as long as you say shalom. The nicest greeting I know. Shalom means twice as much as hello. It means a million lovely things, like peace be yours, welcome home. And even when you say goodbye, if your voice has, I don't want to go in it, say goodbye with a little hello in it, and say goodbye with shalom.
Ron, can I assume that except for Jerry Herman, the other writers I mentioned this evening, Frank Lesser, Berlin, Comden, Green, Rogers, and Hammerstein, he's the only one you got to work with and meet? Am I correct?
Yes.
Well, I dare say, I certainly don't want to speak, far be it from me to speak on their behalf, but I can guarantee you that all of those great composers, hearing your sterling voice, your flawless diction, your interpretation skills, they would be honored, I bet, to have you be absolutely in any of their musicals. No question about it.
Well, Oscar Hammerstein and Mr. Richard Rogers have paid my rent more than any of them, I'll tell you. So it's been a great honor to be part of this stage of 38 to 63, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's my era, and has allowed me to have a career.
Many songwriters attempted to musicalize George Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. Actually, Irving Berlin attempted, but he gave up, and several other theater composers tried and gave up as well. But Alan J. Lerner and Frederick Loewe took up the task, succeeded beyond anyone's expectations, and the result, one of the greatest musicals in American musical theater history.
My Fair Lady. Damn. I've grown accustomed to her face. She almost makes the day begin. I've grown accustomed to her smile. I've grown accustomed to the tune she whistles night and noon. Let's start it over. I've grown accustomed to her face. She almost makes the day begin. I've grown accustomed to the tune she whistles night and noon. Her smiles, her frowns, her ups, her downs are second nature to me now. Like breathing out and breathing in. I was serenely independent and content before we met. Surely I can always be that way again. And yet, I've grown accustomed to her looks, accustomed to her voice, accustomed to her face. And I'm so used to hear her say, good morning every day. Her joys, her woes, her highs, her lows are second nature to me now. Like breathing out, breathing in. I'm very grateful she's a woman and so easy to forget. Rather like a habit one can always break. And yet, I've grown accustomed to the trace of something in the air, accustomed to her face.
You know, if you go back and read the play Pygmalion or watch the film, you'll hear pieces of dialogue, and clearly Alan J. Lerner was inspired to turn some of those lines into songs, including I've Grown Accustomed to Her Face. It comes directly from the original play. Composer Kurt Weill, best remembered for the legendary German musical The Threepenny Opera, settled in America after he fled the Nazis in Germany, and he enjoyed much artistic success on Broadway. He worked with a variety of lyricists. One of his musicals, Nicobacca Holiday, was written with Maxwell Anderson. Their score contained one of the most heartfelt songs ever written. It's a classic, melancholic, but tinged with hopefulness.
This song was introduced by Walter Huston on Broadway. And of course, he's the father of John Huston, the film director, and the grandfather of Angelica Huston. It's a classic song. Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, and the days grow short when you reach September. When the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame, One hasn't got time for the waiting game. All the days turn to gold as they grow few. September, November, and these few golden days I'll spend with you. These golden days I'll spend with you. When I was a young man courting the girls, I played me a waiting game. If a maid refused me with tossing curls, I'd let the old earth take a couple of whirls while I plied her with tears in place of pearls. And as time came around, she came my way. As time came around, she came. But it's a long, long while from May to December, and you've won or lost when you reach September. And I'm no cavalier, and my compliments are tame, and my gambling days are done, for I've won my game. Oh, the wine dwindles down to a precious brew. September, November, and these few vintage years I'd spend with you. These vintage years I'd spend with you.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Ooh. Yeah. The great composer lyricist Cole Porter had his earliest successes in the 1930s with such musicals as The Gay Divorce and Anything Goes. And like Irving Berlin, the hits kept coming during that early period. Songs like Night and Day, You're the Top, Anything Goes. But then came a fallow period. The hit songs were fewer and far between. But in 1949, Cole Porter wrote what most people consider his finest work. It was inspired by Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew, and like Irving Berlin's Annie Get Your Gun, virtually every song was a classic. The show was Kiss Me, Kate.
Cole Porter also wrote the music and the lyrics, as you know, as did Irving Berlin. Many of the Rodgers and Hammerstein, Lerner and Lowe, but these gentlemen, along with also Jerry and Frank Lesser, wrote their own music and lyrics. But Irving Berlin wrote Cole Porter on opening night of Kiss Me, Kate. He sent him a telegram, I should say. Remember a telegram? We don't do that anymore. We got email. Send him an email. But it's wonderful. I want to share that with you. It's Irving Berlin said, Cole, anything I can do, you can do better. Since I reached the charming age of puberty and began to finger feminine curls, like a show that's typically Schubert-y, I have always had a multitude of girls. But now that I'm a married man, at last am I, how aware of my dear departed past am I. Where is a life that late I led? Where is it now? Totally dead. Where is the fun I used to find? Where is it gone? Gone with the wine. A married life may all be well. But raising an heir could never compare with raising a bed of hell. So I repeat what first I said. Where is the life that late I? Where is Rebecca, my vecchio? Could still she be cruising that amusing Ponte Vecchio? Where is Fedora, the wild virago? It's lucky I missed a gangster sister from Chicago. Where is Venezia, who loved to chat so? Could still she be drinking in her stinking pink palazzo? And lovely Lisa, where are you, Lisa? You gave a new meaning to the leaning tower of Pisa. Where is a life that laid high led? Where is it now? Totally dead. Where is the fun that I used to find? Where is it gone? Gone with the wine. I've oft been told of nuptial bliss. But what do you do 1:45 with only a shrew to kiss? So I repeat what first I said. Where is a life that late I laid? This show's giving me a real workout, Michael.
I'll stretch a bit. You know, ironically, I had never seen the Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton, Franco Zeffirelli film, and I just watched it 2 weeks ago, and there is that line, where is the life that late I led? So Cole Porter extracted that from the play. God, I can't believe the evening is just about over. But before we close our concert and sing our last song, please help me thank first our maestro musical director, Donald Pippin. And of course, the man whose extraordinary talent, dazzling charm, and distinguished personality make him the great theater star that he is, Ron Raines. Yeah. Okay, we'll close the evening with a song from Rodgers and Hammerstein's The Sound of Music. It's an audience sing-along. No doubt most of you know it, but you might want to open your programs to page 14 now. The lyrics are there, page 14 on those programs, although I suspect everybody knows this song. Interestingly enough, when the song was first heard and became well-known, many people thought it actually was a traditional Austrian song. But no, Edelweiss was indeed written for The Sound of Music.
This was the last lyric that Oscar Hammerstein wrote, because he died during the run of The Sound of Music. And of course, it's Edelweiss, as you know. I'm going to sing it through once just to refresh your memory, and then it'll be obvious when I want you to join in. And come on, this is very Lawrence Welk, but it works. When you sing out, Louise. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you greet me, small and white, clean and bright, you look happy to meet me, blossom of snow, may you bloom and grow forever. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, bless my homeland forever. Now everybody. Edelweiss, Edelweiss, every morning you small and white, clean and bright. You look happy to meet me, blossom of sweet